Next, I have Ron Nate. Mr. Nate, good to see you. Welcome to the committee. Please come forward, state your name for the record, and then go ahead and proceed.
Will do. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, committee. My name is Ron Nate. I'm with the Idaho Freedom Foundation. I'm from District 34. The two actions or two crimes that we're talking about, reckless driving and distracted driving, one is a misdemeanor currently under Idaho Code. The other one's an infraction. Senate Bill 1058 will substantially increase the penalties for these crimes, but only when they contribute to an accident causing great bodily harm, permanent disability, or permanent disfigurement to any other person. Now, our heart does go out to victims who are affected by this, that good officer on the screen. Nobody deserves to be hurt by somebody else through their negligence. I think this bill is another example of how there's a trend to go from civil torts to crimes because of the great harm caused by it. Accidents are those, and typically they're torts. There's harm caused and a breach of duty to take care to avoid accidents. What's missing from this, however, is, I think in legal terms, I'm not a lawyer, mens rea, the guilty mind, that there was an intent here to cause harm, and there's not in any of these cases. It's important to recognize that these changes, these increase in penalties, 15 years, up to 15 years for the reckless driving and $5,000, and 5 years for distracted driving and $2,000, that is affecting yet another life. And so the victims of the accidents, our heart goes out to them. We could be creating even greater victims too if this law is applied to its maximum in each case as well. This takes a minor, in the case of distracted driving, it takes a minor infraction and turns it into a felony because an accident took place. There is no clear requirement to prove that the mobile electronic device caused the accidents. Once again, there's no requirement that the driver intended to cause harm. Finally, 1058 also does something else. It amends the section defining manslaughter, saying that if somebody died in one of these accidents, either due to reckless driving or driving while using a device, that would be classified as manslaughter. This puts it on the equivalent as driving under the influence of alcohol or under other intoxicating substances. It is interesting and an interesting omission in this bill that the other classification of inattentive driving is not even addressed. Inattentive driving is a little bit less than reckless driving, but a little bit more serious than distracted driving. And that one is not even addressed. So, and that would include things like eating a sandwich or changing the radio station while you're driving. But if an accident happens under that circumstance, it's still considered as it is. It hasn't been touched by this. It doesn't have the minimum penalty of incarceration like 1058 provides for the other two infractions, crimes. And it doesn't provide for a manslaughter designation. So eating a sandwich somehow is okay, but the cell phone or reckless driving is, its punishment is increased dramatically. So we should be very reticent to introduce such injustices relating to sentencing disparity. So I encourage you to vote no on Senate Bill 1058. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nate. Any questions for Mr. Nate? Okay, I don't see any.